So I've already squared off the corners right here. So now I'm going to take my ruler and go down the whole length of the quilt, the exact same measurement. And I'm measuring 2.5 inches right here at the edge of this strip here, okay? And take my rotary cutter. There. This is a tedious process, only because I don't have like a designated cutting table. I just put my cutting mat on top of my ironing board. So that's what I have. And if I measured right, I'll get all the way to the end and it'll meet with the previous cut that I made when I squared the corners. The thing about quilting is making sure that your measurements are accurate and that your cutting is accurate. It took me a long time to figure out cutting. And sometimes I still don't get it exactly right. And because if you don't get the measurements right and if you don't cut precisely, you're going to end up with a wonky, ugly quilt. And nothing will meet up, like your little points right here won't meet up. It'll just look like you threw something together. Yep, I'm almost to the end, so when I measure, they should meet. I shouldn't have any like overhang. Perfect. Alright. So when you send the quilt to the long armor, the lady that does all these pretty designs, you have to send extra fabric that hangs over by like 4 or 8 inches. I must have miscalculated. I sent way more than I needed to. So this is the backing. So I have to trim all that backing off, but you can see the design back there too. Isn't that pretty? So trimming is a workout too, because I'm already working up a sweat. I don't know if you guys have ever handled a rotary cutter before, but they are like stupid sharp. You don't want to cut yourself with one of them. So every time you use it and you put it down, close it. Even though you know you're going to use it in like 2 seconds, you never know. That thing could fall off the table, hit your foot, cut your foot, slice your finger, which I've had happen. Isn't fun, because then you bleed all over your stuff. Not a good time. See, I forgot to do it. Perfect, it meets. Woo! So you guys, I'm strongly thinking about starting our YouTube channel, doing what I love and talking about mental health awareness, because you guys know, if you haven't seen my posts on Facebook lately, you know, I have depression. I'm going through a depressive episode. I'm actually coming out of it. And it's more than just sadness. It actually manifests itself physically when you're going through an episode. And just to explain what depression is, it's a disease of the brain, and your brain secretes a hormone, and it's called serotonin. And when your brain releases that serotonin, the intent is for it to go to the rest of your body and make you happy, right? That goes along with dopamine too. But what the brain does, once your brain secretes that hormone, serotonin, your brain will suck it right back up. And the serotonin will never get to your body. So that's where depression starts chemically in the brain. It's a hormone, basically a hormone deficiency, I guess you would say. But the brain just sucks it back up or reabsorbs it. So that's how the depression starts. I'm off a little bit. So when people with depression have depression, they take a drug or a medicine. It's called a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Basically says, hey brain, don't suck up that serotonin anymore. It takes a long time for the medicine to get into your system and start working properly. But once you start feeling better, you can't stop taking your medicine, because you're going to go right back to square one. So just because you're feeling better doesn't mean you should stop taking your medicine. And since I started going through this particular depressive episode, my doctor's actually added 2 more medications to what I already take for depression. Seems to be working, because now I can talk. Before, the depression was inhibiting. I couldn't talk. I was very slow to speak. I couldn't find the words to say. Kind of like stuttered. Like cognitive decline, basically. And that's one symptom, so it makes it hard to work when you're in sales, right? Oh, look, we're done. So that's the first step. Stay right here. That is what you put on the edge to close all of this in, okay? And I had all this cut up already, so that's good. So you take these, and I have to connect them. I'm going to have to sew them together. But you have to iron. We got to fold it in half, iron it, and then we need to pin it, and then we'll sew it on. And I'll take you through that process. But so we iron it in half like that. We'll put it raw edge out, raw edge to raw edge. I'll sew up here. When I'm done sewing all the way around, I'll turn the quilt over, flip this part over, and then sew it to the back. So that's the gist of what's going to happen next. Okay?